Your mind is a battlefield. Every day it wages war against your potential, whispering lies that seek to keep you small, contained, and afraid. But I'm here to tell you that those whispers are nothing but shadows, insubstantial and powerless in the face of your true capabilities. You see, success isn't just for the chosen few. It's not reserved for those born into privilege or blessed with extraordinary talent. Success is your birthright. It's woven into the very fabric of your being, waiting to be unleashed. There's the truth that many don't want to hear. Your greatest enemy in this journey isn't the world outside. It's not your circumstances, your background, or the obstacles in your path. No, your greatest enemy is right between your ears. It's that voice that says, you can't. It's that feeling of doubt that creeps in when you're on the verge of greatness. It's the comfort of mediocrity that lulls you into accepting less than you deserve. Today, we're going to shatter those lies. We're going to expose them for what they are. Flimsy excuses built on fear and insecurity. Because when you realize the power you hold within, when you truly grasp the potential that lies dormant inside you, nothing can stand in your way. Have you ever watched a lion in a cage? It paces back and forth. Its mighty frame contained by metal bars. But here's the thing. Those bars aren't holding back the lion's strength. They're holding back its belief in its own power. If that lion truly knew what it was capable of, no cage could contain it. You, my friend, are that lion. And the cage, it's made of the lies your mind tells you. I'm not smart enough. Lie. I don't have the right connections. Lie. It's too late for me. The biggest lie of all, these thoughts aren't protecting you. They're imprisoning you. They're robbing you of the life you were meant to live, the impact you were born to make. But here's the beautiful truth. You have the key to that cage. It's called belief in yourself, belief in your purpose, belief in the divine spark within you that yearns to set the world ablaze. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but you don't understand my situation. You don't know how hard it's been. And you're right, I don't know your specific struggles. But what I do know is this: your situation doesn't define you. Your past doesn't determine your future. Your circumstances are not your destiny. Think about the great achievers throughout history. Do you think they had it easy? Do you think success was handed to them on a silver platter? No. They faced adversity, doubt, and failure. But the difference is they refused to let their minds convince them of their limitations. Take Thomas Edison. He failed thousands of times before he successfully created the light bulb. But do you know what he said about those failures? He said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That's the mindset of a champion. That's the attitude that changes the world. Or consider Nelson Mandela. He spent 27 years in prison, stripped of his freedom and dignity. But did his mind convince him that his cause was lost? Did he give up on his dreams of equality and justice? No. He used that time to strengthen his resolve, to sharpen his vision. And when he emerged, he didn't seek revenge. He sought reconciliation. He changed a nation because he refused to let his mind tell him it was impossible. Those individuals understood a fundamental truth. Your mind would always try to keep you safe. It will always push you towards the familiar, the comfortable. But greatness doesn't reside in your comfort zone. Success isn't found in the harbor of security. It's out there in the ocean of possibility, beyond the horizon of what you think you can do. So how do we silence these lies? How do we break free from the mental cage that holds us back? It starts with awareness. You need to become acutely conscious of the thoughts that run through your mind. Listen to the whispers of doubt, the murmurs of fear. But don't just listen, question them. When your mind says, you can't do this, ask yourself, why not? When it tells you you're not good enough, challenge it with, according to whom? When it insists it's too risky, counter with, compared to the risk of living a life of regret? You see, your mind isn't your enemy. It's simply misguided. It's trying to protect you from pain, from failure, from disappointment. But in doing so, it's also protecting you from growth, from achievement, from the exhilaration of reaching your full potential. So instead of fighting your mind, retrain it. Feed it new thoughts. Nourish it with possibilities. Show it evidence of your capabilities. Celebrate your small wins. Acknowledge your progress. Create a new narrative, one of strength, resilience, and unlimited potential. This isn't about positive thinking or empty affirmations. This is about rewiring your brain for success. It's about creating new neural pathways that lead to achievement instead of avoidance. It's about becoming the master of your mind rather than its slave. Let me give you a practical exercise. Every morning, before you start your day, I want you to stand in front of a mirror. Look yourself in the eye and say these words: I am capable, I am worthy. I am destined for greatness. Now, the first few times you do this, your mind will rebel. It will tell you you're being foolish, that you're lying to yourself. But persist. Do it every single day. Watch how, over time, those words begin to sink in. Watch how they begin to shape your actions, your decisions, your very being. But words alone aren't enough. You need to back them up with action. You need to prove to your mind that its fears are unfounded. So I challenge you, do one thing every day that scares you. Take one step outside your comfort zone. Apply for that job you think you're not qualified for. Speak up in that meeting where you usually stay silent. Reach out to that person you've always admired but were too intimidated to approach. Each time you do this, you're showing your mind that its fears are just illusions. You're building a track record of courage that no amount of negative self-talk can erase. Now, address another your mind might be telling you, so late, it's too late for me. This is a particularly insidious lie because it robs you of hope. It makes you believe that your best days are behind you, that you've missed your chance. But let me tell you something. It's never too late to rewrite your story. History is filled with examples of people who achieved greatness later in life. Ray Kroc was 52 when he started McDonald's. Alan Sanders was 62 when he franchised Kentucky Fried Chicken. Anna Mary Robinson Moses, better known as Grandma Moses, didn't start painting until she was 78, and she became one of America's most renowned folk artists. These individuals didn't let their age or their past define their future. They understood that every day is a new opportunity to start again, to reinvent yourself, to pursue your dreams. So if you're sitting there thinking, I'm too old, or I've made too many mistakes, or I've wasted too much time, I want you to stop right now. Take a deep breath and realize this. Your past is not a prison. It's a classroom. Every experience you've had, every failure, every setback, they're not weights holding you down. They're wisdom lifting you up. You have something now that you didn't have when you were younger. Experience. You have perspective. You have resilience born from weathering life's storms. These are not liabilities. They're assets. They're your secret weapons in the pursuit of your dreams. But perhaps the most damaging lie your mind tells you is this: you don't deserve success. This lie is rooted in a fundamental misunderstanding of what success really is. You see, success isn't a finite resource. It's not a pie where if someone else gets a slice, there's less for you. Success is abundant. It's limitless. And you are just as deserving of it as anyone else. Your worthiness isn't determined by your background, your education, or your current circumstances. Your worthiness is innate. It's part of your very being. You deserve success simply because you exist. You deserve to live a life of purpose and fulfillment because that's what you were created for. So the next time your mind whispers, who do you think you are to want this? Answer boldly, I am a child of the universe born with infinite potential. Now I want to address something crucial. This journey of silencing your mind's lies isn't a one-time event. It's not something you do once and then you're set for life. No, it's a daily practice. It's a moment-by-moment choice to believe in yourself, to push past your perceived limitations, to reach for greatness. There will be days when the lies seem louder, days when doubt feels overwhelming, days when it seems easier to just give up and accept mediocrity. These days are not failures. They're opportunities. They're chances to flex your mental muscles, to reinforce your commitment to your dreams. On these days, I want you to remember this. Your struggles do not define you. Your resilience does. Your setbacks do not determine your worth. Your comebacks do. Your fears do not dictate your future. Your courage does. Let's talk about fear for a moment. Fear is one of the most powerful tools your mind uses to keep you small. It whispers of all the things that could go wrong, all the ways you could fail, all the pain you might experience. And make no mistake, these whispers can be paralyzing. But it's what your mind doesn't tell you about fear. It's often a signpost pointing towards your greatest growth. The things that scare you the most are usually the things that will propel you towards your destiny. The actions that make your heart race are often the ones that will make your life soar. So instead of running from fear, lean into it. Instead of avoiding what scares you, pursue it. Because on the other side of fear is freedom. On the other side of fear is the life you've always dreamed of. Think about it this way. Every great achievement in history was preceded by fear. The first humans to sail across the ocean were afraid. The pioneers of flight were afraid. The civil rights leaders who changed the course of nations were afraid. But they didn't let that fear stop them. They used it as fuel. They transformed it into determination. You can do the same. You can alchemize your fear into fervor, your anxiety into action. But it starts with recognizing that fear isn't your enemy. It's simply a misguided friend trying to keep you safe. Thank it for its concern, then gently but firmly tell it that you're going to do it anyway. Now, let's address another common lie your mind might be telling you. I don't have what it takes. This lie is particularly insidious because it masquerades as humility. It tricks you into believing that you're being realistic, that you're avoiding arrogance. But in reality, it's false modesty that's keeping you from your destiny. You see, you were created with everything you need to fulfill your purpose. You have talent, skills, and abilities that are uniquely yours. You have experiences that have shaped you, challenges that have strengthened you, dreams that have inspired you. All of these combine to make you perfectly equipped for your journey. But here's the catch. You might not have everything you need right now. And that's okay. That's where growth comes in. That's where learning, stretching, and developing yourself becomes crucial. The path to success isn't about starting with everything. It's about starting where you are and committing to continuous improvement. Think about a master craftsman. Did they start out creating masterpieces? No. They started with crude attempts, with failures, with pieces that didn't quite work. But with each attempt, they learned. With each failure, and over time, their skills grew until they could create works of breathtaking beauty. Your life is no different. You are the craftsman of your destiny. Each day is an opportunity to hone your skills, to refine your talents, to move one step closer to mastery. So instead of telling yourself, I don't have what it takes, start asking, what can I learn today that will take me closer to my goals? This mindset shift is crucial. It moves you from a fixed mindset where you believe your abilities are set in stone to a growth mindset where you believe you can develop and improve through effort and learning. And let me tell you, this shift changes everything. With a growth mindset, failures become lessons. Challenges become opportunities. Criticism becomes feedback for improvement. You no longer see yourself as a finished product, but as a work in progress, always evolving, always growing, always becoming more. Now, I wanted to address something that might be holding some of you back. Comparison. In today's world, it's easier than ever to look at others and feel like you're falling behind. Your mind might be telling you, look at them. They're so much further ahead. You'll never catch up. But here's the truth. Comparison is the thief of joy, and it's based on a fundamental lie. You see, you're comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. You're measuring your beginning against someone else's middle. You're judging your chapter 1 against someone else's chapter 20. Your journey is unique. Your path is your own. The only person you should be comparing yourself to is the person you were yesterday. Are you growing? Are you learning? Are you moving forward? Even if it's just by small steps. That's what matters. But remember, success isn't a race. It's not about getting there first. It's about getting there authentically in a way that aligns with your values and fulfills your purpose. So instead of looking sideways at others, look inward. Focus on your own growth, your own progress, your own journey. Now let's talk about another lie your mind might be telling you. I need to wait for the perfect time. This lie is particularly dangerous because it sounds reasonable. It tricks you into believing that there will come a magical moment when everything aligns perfectly, when all the obstacles disappear, when you feel completely ready. So let me tell you something. That perfect time, it doesn't exist. The perfect moment is now. The best time to start was yesterday. Life doesn't wait for you to feel ready. Opportunities don't pause until you feel prepared. Success doesn't come to those who wait for perfect conditions. It comes to those who make the best of the conditions they have. Think about it this way. If you wait for all the traffic lights to turn green before you leave your house, you'll never start your journey. You have to start moving, adjusting as you go, navigating each intersection as you come to it. Your journey to success is no different. You don't need all the answers before you start. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to take the first step. Then the next. Each step will reveal the way forward. Each action will bring clarity. So stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop waiting until you feel completely ready. Because here's the truth. You'll never feel not ready. The most successful people in the world aren't those who felt ready. They're the ones who felt afraid but did it anyway. They're the ones who felt unprepared but started regardless. They're the ones who embraced imperfect action over perfect inaction. Your mind might be telling you, but what if I fail? And to that, I say, so what if you do? Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a part of success. It's a stepping stone. It's a teacher. Some of the most valuable lessons in life come wrapped in the package of failure. Did you know that Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first TV job? That Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination? That Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team? These individuals didn't let failure define them. They let it refine them. They used it as fuel to propel them forward. So I challenge you, reframe your relationship with failure. See it not as an endpoint, but as a checkpoint. Not as a stop sign, but as a yield sign. Pause, learn, and adjust, and then keep moving forward. Your mind might also be telling you, but I don't know how. This lie keeps so many people stuck. They believe that they need to have all the answers, all the knowledge, all the skills before they can start. But that's not how success works. You don't need to know every step of the journey before you begin. You just need to know the next step. And if you don't know the next step, your next step is to find out what the next step is. It's about progress, not perfection. It's about moving forward, even when the path isn't clear. Think about learning to ride a bicycle. You didn't learn by studying physics textbooks or watching endless tutorials. You learn by getting on the bike, falling off, getting back on, and trying again. You learn by doing. Right? Your journey to success is the same. You learn by doing. You grow by trying. You succeed by persisting. So stop waiting until you have all the answers. Start with what you know and commit to learning along the way. Now let's address another lie your mind might be telling you. I need someone else's permission or approval. This lie is particularly insidious because it puts your power in someone else's hands. It makes you believe that your dreams, your goals, your success are dependent on someone else's validation. But here's the truth. only permission you need is your own. The only approval that truly matters is your own. Your dreams, your goals, your vision for your life. These are uniquely yours. They don't require external validation to be worthy or valuable. Think about the great innovators and change makers throughout history. Did they wait for someone to give them permission to pursue their ideas? Did they seek approval before they dared to be different? No, they believed in their vision even when others couldn't see it. They pushed forward even when faced with skepticism and doubt. This doesn't mean you should ignore all advice or feedback. Wisdom often comes from listening to others, especially those who have walked the path before you. But there's a crucial difference between seeking counsel and seeking permission. Seek counsel to gain insight, to broaden your perspective, to refine your approach. But don't mistake that for needing permission to pursue your dreams. Half of your life is your own. Your potential is your responsibility. Your dreams are your birthright. Don't hand over the keys to your future to someone else. As to another lie your mind might be whispering. I'm not ready. This lie often disguises itself as prudence, as careful preparation. But more often than not, it's just another form of fear. It's your mind's way of keeping you in your comfort zone, of avoiding the risk that comes with growth and change. But here's the truth. You'll never feel completely ready. Growth happens outside your comfort zone. It happens when you stretch yourself, when you take on challenges that seem just beyond your current abilities. If you wait until you feel entirely prepared, you'll be waiting forever. Think about learning to swim. You can study techniques, watch videos, practice movements on dry land. But at some point, you have to get in the water. You have to be willing to feel the discomfort of the unknown, to risk sinking before you learn to float. Your journey to success is no different. You learn by doing. You grow by trying. You succeed by persisting even when you don't feel ready. In fact, especially when you don't feel ready. This doesn't mean you should be reckless or unprepared. It means you should embrace the concept of ready enough. Are you ready enough to take the first step? Are you ready enough to learn as you go? Are you ready enough to face challenges and grow from them? If the answer is yes, then you're ready enough to start. Remember, perfection is the enemy of progress. Don't let the pursuit of being perfectly ready prevent you from being good enough to begin. Start where you are with what you have. The rest will come as you move forward. Now let's address a lie that often creeps in when you start making progress. I don't deserve this success. This is the voice of imposter syndrome, and it can be paralyzing. It makes you question your achievements, doubt your abilities, and fear being found out as a fraud. But here's the truth. You deserve every bit of success you achieve. Your accomplishments are not accidents or flukes. They are the result of your effort, your learning, your persistence. Imposter syndrome often affects high achievers, people who set high standards for themselves. But it's based on a fundamental misunderstanding of how success works. Success isn't about being perfect. It's not about knowing everything or never making mistakes. It's about learning, growing, and persisting despite challenges. If you're feeling like an imposter, it often means you're pushing yourself, taking on new challenges, growing beyond your comfort zone. These are all positive things. They're signs of progress, not fraud. So the next time your mind tells you that you don't deserve your success, challenge that thought. Remind yourself of the hard work you've put in, the obstacles you've overcome, the growth you've achieved. You're not an imposter. You're a learner, a grower, an achiever. I've made too many mistakes. It's too late to change. This lie is particularly damaging because it robs you of hope. It makes you believe that your past defines your future, that your mistakes are permanent stains on your potential. But here's the liberating truth. Oh, your past does not determine your future. Your mistakes do not define you. They refine you. They teach you. They strengthen you. Every mistake, every failure, every setback is an opportunity for growth and learning. Think about some of the most successful people in any field. Do you think they got there without making mistakes, without failures, without setbacks? Of course not. What sets them apart is not a lack of mistakes, but their response to those mistakes. They view them as lessons, not life sentences. In fact, many great successes were born from what seemed like devastating failures. Did you know that WD-40, the popular lubricant, got its name because the first 39 formulas failed? The creators persisted, and the 40th attempt was successful. Today, WD-40 is used in millions of homes and businesses worldwide. Consider Thomas Edison's journey to invent the light bulb. He famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Each failure was a step towards success, a lesson learned, a path eliminated. Your journey is no different. You know, mistakes are not endpoints. They're waypoints. They're not stop signs. They're yield signs. Pause, learn, adjust, and keep moving forward. So instead of letting your mind convince you that it's too late to change, that you've made too many mistakes, reframe your thinking. See your past as a rich source of wisdom and experience. See your mistakes as the tuition you've paid for valuable life lessons. And most importantly, see today as a new beginning, a chance to apply all that you've learned. Now let's address a lie that often holds people back from even starting their journey. I don't have the resources I need. This lie can be particularly convincing because it often has a grain of truth to it. Maybe you don't have as much money as you'd like. Maybe you don't have the connections you think you need. Maybe you lack certain skills or knowledge. But here's the empowering truth. Resourcefulness is more important than resources. History is full of examples of people who started with little but achieved greatness through creativity, persistence, and determination. Consider the story of Jankum, the co-founder of WhatsApp. He grew up in a small village in Ukraine in a house with no hot water. His family immigrated to the United States when he was 16, living on food stamps and in subsidized housing. Despite these humble beginnings, Kum taught himself computer networking by reading used books he bought at a local store and returned after he was done. This self-taught knowledge eventually led him to create WhatsApp, which was later acquired by Facebook for $19 billion. Think about Oprah Winfrey, who was born into poverty in rural Mississippi, wore dresses made of potato sacks, and suffered abuse as a child. Despite these immense challenges, she used her intelligence, her determination, and her ability to connect with people to become one of the most influential media personalities in the world. These stories aren't exceptions. They're examples of what's possible when you focus on being resourceful rather than lamenting a lack of resources. They show that your starting point doesn't determine your destination. Your creativity, your persistence, your willingness to learn and adapt. These are the true resources that fuel success. So instead of focusing on what you lack, focus on maximizing what you have. Instead of wishing for more resources, challenge yourself to be more resourceful. How can you creatively use what you already have? How can you acquire the knowledge or skills you need without spending money? How can you leverage technology and the internet to access information and connect with people? Remember, every resource you think you need was at one point created by someone who didn't have it. Be the creator of your own resources. Be a solution to your own problem. This mindset shift from, I don't have to, how can I create or acquire is transformative. It moves you from a position of powerlessness to a position of empowerment. It turns you from a victim of circumstances into the architect of your own success. Now, let's address a lie that often creeps in when you're making progress. I've come this far, I can coast now. This lie is particularly dangerous because it often comes disguised as contentment or satisfaction. It tricks you into thinking that you've made it, that you can relax your efforts and still maintain your success. But here's the truth. Success is not a destination. It's a journey. It's not something you achieve once and then you're done. It's something you must continually work at, constantly striving to grow, to improve, to reach new heights. Think about top athletes. Do they stop training once they win a championship? Do they cease practicing once they're considered the best in their field? No. They understand that maintaining success often requires even more effort than achievement. They know that if they stop pushing themselves, someone else will surpass them. Your journey is no different. The moment you start coasting is the moment you start falling behind. The world is constantly changing, evolving, presenting new challenges and opportunities. To remain successful, you must evolve with it. You must continue learning, growing, adapting. This doesn't mean you can't enjoy your achievements or take time to rest and recharge. Those things are important too. But it does mean that you should never become complacent. Never stop setting new goals, seeking new challenges, pushing your boundaries. Hey, remember, the goal isn't just to reach the top. It's to keep climbing, to keep exploring new peaks, to keep discovering what you're truly capable of. Your potential is limitless. Don't let your mind convince you otherwise. In conclusion, your mind is a powerful tool. It can be your greatest ally or your most formidable opponent. The lies it tells you are not malicious. They're misguided attempts to keep you safe, to protect you from disappointment. But in doing so, they can also keep you from greatness, from fulfillment, from the life you're truly capable of living. The key is to recognize these lies for what they are. That's thoughts. They're not facts. They're not prophecies. They're not commandments. They're simply patterns of thinking that you have the power to change. So I challenge you. Become aware of the lies your mind tells you. Question them. Challenge them. And most importantly, replace them with empowering truths. Replace I can't with how can I? Replace I'm not ready with I'll learn as I go. Replace I don't have what it takes with I have everything I need to start. And I'll acquire what I need along the way. Your mind may lie, but your potential is real. Your dreams are valid. Your capacity for growth and achievement is limitless. Believe in yourself, trust in your abilities, and never ever let the lies in your mind hold you back from the greatness you're destined for. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Take that step today. Start small if you need to, but start. And keep going, one step at a time, one day at a time. Your future self will thank you for it. You have greatness within you. It's time to let it shine. It's time to silence the lies and amplify the truth of who you are and what you're capable of. The world is waiting for your unique contribution. Don't keep it waiting any longer. Your time is now.